Nathan.
Yes. Okay, go up to here. Go up to here. Okay. I didn't listen. I hate this. Okay. Concerning.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm sending this recording to everybody, really small, just really to kind of briefly explain what's happened. It means a lot to me that I have my children. It means a lot to me. Today is Friday, the 21st of January, 2022. Yesterday on the 20th, I was blocked from seeing my children. Okay. On the 20th, I was blocked from seeing my children. I've had enough. I don't know. I don't know how to convince Valarie that it's not healthy to do parental alienation. It's not healthy to block the father that wants to see his children from blocking them. It's not healthy to do that, Valarie. I don't know how to convince her. And all of you that are on the CC line, as you're looking at Valarie and me go back and forth, this is the way people interpret stuff. You got her side and his side, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. That's not this situation. I am 100% truthful. Valarie is so good at making things get out of control. And throughout our marriage, for the 15 years, 10 months, and 12 days, I have learned how to handle her bluster, how to handle her boisterousness, how to handle her recalcitrance, how to handle what she is. When we were in counseling, the counselor told Valarie, please stop going from topic to topic to topic to topic, and gave her explanation of why it needs to be like that. And I corrected the counselor because the counselor was giving Valarie a way to be successful that was against the way she is. She's a person that goes from topic to topic to topic to topic to topic. And, you just have to follow the logic. The way she said it was, you're going from branch to this branch to that branch to this branch to that branch. Now, she was right. But I am a man who is merciful. I'm a man who's forgiving. I'm a man that does not lord in an aggressive way over my ex-wife when she was my wife. I'm a man of peace, and I've always been a man of peace. Even while Valarie was lying on me. It's frustrating, but I've always been a man of peace. So I told the counselor, I said, thank you, ma'am, for what you're saying, but I don't need Valarie to do that. That's why I didn't even let it last for 5 minutes as a requirement. I said, please, ma'am, just trust me on this. I said, Valarie, be yourself. If you want to follow the counselor's advice, you're free to do that if that's what you want to do. But I did not marry you in order for you to change. You don't have to change for me to love you. You don't have to change and change the way you do things. If you're comfortable talking the way you talk, then it is my privilege, and I don't think I said it the way I'm saying it now, but basically it's my privilege to let you be yourself, and I will follow you on the branches. You go from talking about this topic to that topic to this topic and being a woman, being very, because Valarie is emotional. She's not as logical, and you can tell by her writings that she's emotional sometimes. Even though she's a great writer, Valarie is probably one of the best writers that I've ever met in person. Nobody writes better. I wish that Valarie's talent as a writer and my talent as a producer, I wish that we could have worked together like we did before we got married. I've always been available to her for that. But Valarie has her way of doing things, and I'm not going to lord over her in that respect. So I told the counselor and I told Valarie, be yourself. Go on all the branches. Say what you're going to say. I will listen, and I will find a way to understand what you're saying. And that's what I've done. Of all them years of being married to her, I've learned how to listen to her. I know where she's coming from, and I know when she's wrong. This is not a situation, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a situation where Valarie's right and I'm wrong. It's not. This is a situation where Valarie does not want to give in. All I've asked for the past 25 months, in February to be 26 months, all I've asked for is 50-50 custody, 50-50 placement. Valarie is the one that went into court and called me all type of names and mentally ill and all this other stuff. I didn't claim that because I don't believe that about myself. All the things that Valarie has said about me, I've not challenged it in public until now. I've allowed her lies to stand. I've allowed her lies to affect my life. Valarie has damaged my life in so many ways, and she'll never apologize for it. She'll never, and there's no apology that she can do that's going to undo me being beat up by police because of her, me being put in jail because of her lies. And nobody on this CC, on this email, none of you guys ever will stand up to Valarie. And that's not why you're here for me sending this to you. Because Valarie will never let you stand up to her. She will always bully you. She will always say what she can say and never be humble. She's not intending to be humble. Thank you. No, it's good. It's good. Thank you. She's not intending to be humble, and she's not going to be. She's not going to do the right thing. One of the things I learned from Rush Limbaugh is that, thank you, sir. One of the things I learned from Rush Limbaugh is that some people, they can't be reasoned with. Doesn't the Bible say, let us reason together? 50-50 custody, 50-50 placement. Yes, it means, Valarie, that you won't get any child support if it's 50-50 custody, 50-50 placement. But those are my children, too. I should not be blocked from my children, and you keep doing it. You did it even yesterday on the 20th of January, 2022. I asked the children, can you come outside? And they said, Dad, we can't. I said, why? I said, Dad, you know, I got the video of everything. Why? Because it's part of the evidence. I don't have any other recourse, everybody. None of you on the CC line, none of you are going to call Valarie and convince her to do the right thing. Nobody's going to do that. Even the Toma Police Department, even they are afraid of Valarie. Why is everybody afraid of Valarie? Valarie bleeds just like everybody else bleeds. Here's what God showed me about Valarie. Valarie's heart is hard. My heart is not hard against Valarie. If today she sends an email that says 50-50 custody, 50-50 placement, I've signed it, Matthew. Let's agree finally. Do you know that it will take me about a year to fully believe it? But it would only take me about a month. And our hearing is on the 3rd of March. Now think about this for a second. Valarie said all of that stuff. The judge declined the motion. She said all that stuff, right? Now there is a hearing. There is a hearing. In other words, the judge is going to hear this case. And I'm going to submit all the evidence. Valarie has violated the law over 82 times. Yesterday was the 82nd time. People on the email. Am I supposed to just let Valarie continue to block me from my children? You got to let God handle it. Let God handle it. I have. Valarie's heart is hard. If Valarie can't let me have my children based on false pretenses, false stuff, everything she says in those emails, that's why I don't even read them. Because she lies. And everybody believes her. And that's okay. And that's why I'm saying we have a court date on the 3rd. I invite all of you to come to court. It's by Zoom. You can listen in. Some of you, I am going to request that you be a witness. If I know that you're coming, I'm going to give you some of the material that I'm putting in the court record so that you can see everything. You can witness it for yourself. I'm going to put on a compelling case. And what God showed me that I need to do is I need to make sure that everybody understands it by the 3rd of March. Because everybody does not understand. Pastor Eric Dorsey and I talked, and he said, Matt, the stuff that you're dealing with, it's too heavy for a lot of your Christian friends. And he wasn't insulting my Christian friends. I have another friend of mine that says, man, you got some really, your friends, they don't understand. And what I'm trying to do is I'm slowing everything down. That's why I love my own divorce, because it's slow enough so that I can explain right now. This is the first time I'm inviting people to come to court on Zoom. If we were doing it in person, then you'd have to drive all the way up to Toma. But the judge said it's going to be on Zoom, which means it is now officially a TV show. Because my hearing on the 3rd of March, it's an open hearing. Courtrooms are open to the public. So, on the 3rd of March, I invite you to come to court. And between now and the 3rd, some of the information that I put into the court record, the stuff that I feel would be beneficial for the public to know, I'm going to submit it to the public. And I'm doing this in the public because, A, I do need people to pray. And I don't want you to pray against Valarie. I'm asking you to pray one thing. Lord, let your will be done in Valarie's life, Matthew's life, and most importantly, the lives of Naomi and Nathan, my children. That's the only prayer that I'm humbly requesting that everybody pray. And if there's one thing that I want everybody to do, because if prayer is easy to do, then please do that. That's the only prayer I want. I don't want you to pray against Valarie. I'm not against Valarie. Everything that she's done, I've already forgiven her for it. God showed me she was going to do this exact thing. I've been knowing this ever since 2018 and 19. 2018, I wasn't even intending on divorcing her. But in December 2019, when I sat down with Valarie, I didn't even sit down to tell her to be divorced. I told her, I said, let's work on this together. She didn't have to get divorced from me. She could have said, Matt, you know what? Let's work this out. As Shanae put it to me, she said, Valarie's always had home court advantage. She could have always ironed it out with me. Valarie decided to file paperwork against me to make me homeless. I didn't leave. Valarie made me homeless. But my children to this day, for 25 months, my children are under the impression that dad left. Why? Because Valarie blocks my children from me and has brainwashed them into believing that their father left. Everybody, that is not a godly trait. But nobody challenges Valarie. Nobody calls Valarie and says, Matt is not what you keep saying he is. Here's what everybody does. Everybody obeys Valarie. They suck up to her. That's what this whole town of Toma has done. This whole city. The police department, the judge, the guardian ad litem, her church, people at the school, they suck up to Valarie. Because Valarie knows how to go around and say stuff all over. And nobody on the CC line, none of you guys, none of you understand the details. Because I haven't put these details out. And so I know it's uncomfortable for me to be talking about this stuff like it's dirty laundry. But I'm going for something now. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my effing life. Is it okay for me to stand up for myself? Or if it's not okay for me to stand up for myself, are you going to stand up for me? Are you going to tell Valarie to please back down and let the man have 50-50 custody, 50-50 placement? If you're not going to do that, then just pray. That's all I need, is for people to pray that God's will be done. I've aligned myself since I was 19 years old with God's will for my life. I I never backslide, and I never get out of God's will. Even if it disagrees with your sensibilities, Valarie, I am always doing God's will for my life. Always. There's what's called the good will of God, the perfect will of God, and the acceptable will of God. I don't do things outside of God's will. If I can help it. I love my children. I don't want to play the role of deadbeat dad. If I have my children 50% of the time, then no child support needs to change hands. If I have the children full time, Valarie doesn't need to pay me child support. You know why? Because I don't need Valarie's money, just like Valarie does not need my money. You know what Valarie needs? She needs to be a good mother to those children and allow herself to stop being bitter and functioning in bitterness. Valarie, your attitude is so aggressive. You're so aggressive with these children, and you're so aggressive against me. I'm asking you humbly one more time. Please stop blocking me from my children. 50-50 custody, 50-50 placement. And if we can function like that for all of 2022, then I will drop all of my efforts to hold you accountable for what you've done in 2020 and 2021. Nobody has held you accountable for what you've done in 2020 and 2021. Nobody has. I'm the only one that can hold you accountable. I'm the only one that can write up the paperwork. I'm the one that you did the violation to. If I had done things to you, it would be you that would have to go and file paperwork against me. And everybody would understand. I need for you, Valarie, to understand that you have violated the law. Wisconsin Statute 948.31. You've done it over 80 times. You cannot get out of what you've done. The only thing you can do is repent. The way that you repent is 50-50 custody, 50-50 placement, so that I have my children half of the time. We only live a mile and a half or two away from each other. I live closer to the school than you do. I know how to manage my children. I am not mentally ill like you have lied about, and you know it. You know that you've lied. But if you are going to continue to block me from my children, I have no choice, because I love my children. I love them and they love me. My children want what I want, which is a normal relationship between parent and child. You are the only one standing in the way of that. You, the Toma Police Department, the judge, the guardian ad litem. All you have to do is back down and do the right thing, Valarie. But I know that you won't, because you're recalcitrant. Your heart is hard. And until you stop your heart from being hard, the children will continue to suffer, because you are alienating them and alienating me. You are psychologically enmeshing them to your bitterness. I invite you all to court, and over the next, throughout February, I am going to make sure that this story is properly discussed, so that there's no question about Valarie's wrongness. This has been the Matty Lipsis Show, m3dots.com. Of course, my words are protected by the freedom of speech, First Amendment. Of course, I've said nothing wrong in this recording, and I look forward to God's will being done in my life, in my son Nathan's life, in my daughter Naomi's life, and in Valerie's life. Thank you very much for listening. Lift your hands up like this. Everybody lift your hands up like this. Everybody lift your hands up like this. Everybody lift your hands up. Perspective like there you go. Think of this from head to toe. How are we going to flow when gratefulness is way too low? Fix your mouth to say it loud. By yourself or with the crowd. God is great, I'm redeemed, and I say so. Omnipresent, always round. How to make God consciousness. Pray in truth, it will make sense. God is great, I'm redeemed, and I say so. Always round, omnipresent. Present like an ever-present help in time of need. Come on, lift your hands with me. Come on, lift your hands with me. Perspective like there you go. Think of this from head to toe. How are we going to flow when gratefulness is way too low? Fix your mouth to say it loud. By yourself or with the crowd. God is great, I'm redeemed, and I say so. Omnipresent, always round. How to make God consciousness. Pray in truth, it will make sense. God is great, I'm redeemed, and I say so. Always around, omnipresent, present like an ever-present help in time of need. Come on, lift your hands with me. Come on, lift your hands with me.
I'm not chasing y'all around the circle.
Dad, please! Please!
I'm not doing it.
Dad, please! You get to tickle us! You get to tickle us! Oh, you tickle us, we'll chase with you! It's simple as that.
Or you could just let me tickle you without, running.
Go slower than usual, please.
What?
Please. You can even go across the circle, but please.
All right, we'll think about it. Good job, baby.
What do you mean think about it? It's right now. Ladybug.
Good job, baby.